listen, I don't support lying. I'm just saying, if you happen to tell a lie by mistake, you gotta triple down, guys. You gotta triple down. This is my advice. My advice is don't lie. Live a nice, highest life. But if you do tell a lie, don't back out. It's you, or the words came out of your mouth. You gotta just stay with it and just double, triple, quadruple down until it's too late. So maybe that's what Jen Shah is doing. When it's too late, surrender and beg for mercy. But before then, just keep going.
By the way, so this is just to update everybody again, if people have forgotten. So Jen Shah faces 30 years for the wire fraud charges, an additional 20 years for money laundering. The trial begins July 18th. They're expecting it to last 2 to 3 weeks. She has, of course, pled not guilty. Shah did not comment as she left the courthouse recently. Stuart Smith, her previous longtime assistant and friend, will be a witness in her case. Both the Bravo star and her assistant face those
against her case, like in her case, but I think against, right?
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he
already pled guilty.
Plea deal. I don't know. And by the way, by the time everyone hears this, it'll probably be a little bit after July 18th, because that's what we do. We record a week or two in advance, like every other show that exists. Listen, I think we're going to be covering the trial, and I'm going to get some lawyers involved. Even though I'm not a lawyer, I'm going to get some real lawyers involved. Here's what I think we're bearing the lead. We're bearing the lead that Miss Meredith Marks and Heather Gay came to New York to show her support. So it's no mystery, but I mean, right, you're holding up a lovely picture for all of our people on YouTube.
They look great.
They look great, but guys, I mean, I think everyone knows this from following, Meredith is done. Like, there is no Meredith and Lisa Barlow. It's over. So Meredith and Jen Shah have buried all of this Brooks Mark stuff and what Jen said about Meredith is it's Meredith and Whitney and Jen Shah and Heather Gay. So Lisa Barlow is on an island of her own with those four, it's Meredith's done. So I think that's really the lead here, that we have a whole season of RHOSLC to watch, which we are going to love. But we're going to be covering the trial, and Jen's in New York and she's rocking more Gucci. And this is it. This is what you guys have waited for. It is here. And she's either going to be innocent or guilty. Look, I don't like always predicting how it's all going to work out. The trial is going to start. We're going to watch, and she's either going to be, listen, the Chrisleys are found guilty. Where's the sentence? So it's a very long process. Sarah's like, oh my God. And they still are like,
I cannot even believe that I don't know. It's just,
I think they're in more trouble than like a lot of people. They're in more trouble than Teresia. I mean, they're going to
jail. Are they both going to jail, or mostly him? No, she's going to jail too, right?
It's going to be so interesting to see what happens. It is.
I cannot believe, I mean, I adored that show. And I think it was
a great show. I actually reissued an episode I had with them like a week or two ago on a Friday, just to say, like, were there clues? I mean, there were a few things that he said. I mean, I spoke to them maybe like 2 months before this verdict. So you obviously knew what y'all did, right? I mean, not allegedly, we can say what you did now because you're found guilty. Whether they did it, I mean, they're found guilty. But I mean, Julie was saying things like really defending him just in general. And he said things about like, he's such an honest man. There were certain quotes you should listen. It's kind of like, oh man, why do people live above their means? I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, I think the saddest part with the Chrisleys, right? And even Jen Shah, if in fact these things are true, these people are so compelling and eccentric themselves. I would have watched the Chrisleys without a Range Rover. Now, I get that it's not as interesting if Todd was driving around in a Honda Civic, it's not, but I feel like I would have watched them, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work without the money, but because we've always been accustomed to seeing them with so-called money, but obviously it wasn't theirs.
But you look at like, okay, it's such a bad example because it's a different animal, but like you look at like Jersey Shore, I mean, they were broke as a joke, season 1, season 2, season 3.
I know, but don't you think the game has changed so much? I mean, I don't
they're
know.
fucking loaded now. Like Pauly D. That Pauly D is probably the richest of them all, and that Snuka's, she's probably a close second.
I know, but I'm saying like, don't
The game
you
has
think
changed.
the reality, like, do you think that the reality TV game, like, would they even put people on that don't have, I don't know. I mean, they do on TLC, like Welcome to Plathville, they have no money, you know, but they have 10 kids. So it's like,
Well, look at like a Duck Dynasty. Did they have kids or like?
they had tons of money though. They're super rich.
Whoops.
Made like duck calling things. Like they go,
Oh.
but they've sold them for bazillions of dollars even before they were very rich.
Well, shame on me for stereotyping and see that you know what? That was a microaggression from my house here in the Hamptons. That was a microaggression. And I need to check myself. My friend Ebony, I'm not being funny. I really am friends with Ebony and I really have learned things. That was a microaggression. I shouldn't have stereotyped because they live a certain lifestyle that they were poor. Based on what you're saying now that I'm thinking about it, they probably have a ton more money than all of us. Well, we're going to be watching it, Jen Shah and the Shah Squad. I can't wait. In other news, because RHOS, listen, I think the next things that are going to come back, I think RHOSLC will be first. And I think our girls in the RHOP will be right after it. Sarah loves when I talk RHOP.
Oh my God.
What's going on with Candy Gal? She getting in trouble or something lately?
Well, you know, Candy Gal, the latest, of course, is she is doing egg extraction. So she is not ready to have that baby yet, but she just posted on her Instagram story that she did her retrieval, or it was retrieval day. So we're not sure how it went. And, you know, when you're doing the egg retrieval thing, because I almost froze my eggs, but I didn't, you know, they want like 15, 20 eggs. And it's a lot. It's 2 weeks of injections. You have to go in for blood work because they have to make sure your egg count is high. And then they put you under, they retrieve the eggs. You know, it's a whole ordeal. So it's very interesting. You know, she's in her 30s. Is Candy Gal 34? 30.
Is she? I thought she was old. God, she's
36?
young.
No, maybe you're right. Maybe Candy Gal, how old?
Let me tell you something though. I really do. I'm all over the place. ADD Gemini. I find
35. Candy Gal is 35.
God, that's still so young.
So young, but you know, I mean, they're putting off having a baby probably for another 4 years. I bet 4 or 5 years.
I find Candy Gal, and this isn't the point of life. You know, we're all supposed to be like, you know, whatever, but I